Hey everyone, I am joined here with TahJ Borom. He is a baseball player at IU Kokomo, Indiana University Kokomo, Indiana. If you are not familiar with that area, it's about an hour or two outside of Indianapolis. So that's the largest city closest. Is actually from Indianapolis. Taj, thank you so much for joining me this morning. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Man, first off, I have to say, I've known him since we were kids, but he's a little bit younger than me. So I'm like, dang, you're like all grown up now. It's
Yeah,
like a shocker for me a little bit. So so
I
how
know.
does it, huh?
I haven't seen you in a while.
I know. How does it feel
Um,
being away from home?
so I'm the type of person I kind of like being away from home. I kind of enjoy being away. It kind of makes me miss it more. So when I go back, I enjoy it even more. But yeah, I love being on my own. It's been a great experience.
Yeah, I know, especially like being the baby, you probably feel like you get a little space.
Yeah,
Because I know
I do.
he's the youngest, he has two older siblings. So but yeah, let's get right into it. First off, I have to ask, how did you get introduced to baseball, or I should say, like, what attracted you to baseball?
So I started playing baseball when I was about 7. Um, I remember going on YouTube and being like how to play baseball and the Mickey Mouse little short clips coming up, and I'm being like, oh, I want to play. Because I had like went to my dad and I had read some book and wanted to play hockey, and my dad was like, no, you're not playing hockey. Like that's too expensive. And he was like, that's just kind of like a hard sport. So
Mhm.
basically made it to where I ended up choosing another sport, chose baseball, ended up falling in love with it, really enjoyed it. And yeah, that's how I got started.
You said something interesting though, because I didn't realize this, but you said hockey is more expensive than baseball. Because from my understanding, I thought baseball was pretty expensive too, considering like.
It is.
Correct me if
So
I'm wrong. I know you guys have to buy like your own bats and everything, or
bats, gloves, helmets, travel fees, everything. So basically when I started though, it was just rec league. So I wasn't really that expensive, just had to pay the rec league fee. And then I had to get like my own bat and glove. But that I mean, it's expensive, but like once you have one, it's like you can use it for a long time. So I basically used my bats for a long time. I had other gloves. My brother had played baseball too when he was younger. So there were some hand-me-downs. But yeah, it can get very expensive, especially as you get older. But yeah, I was just blessed that my parents were able to provide that for me.
so you played in a lot of like travel leagues and things like that growing up. Talk about that experience and how that like exposure kind of helped you get to where you are.
So I played travel in football, basketball, baseball. I played 3 sports growing up, and uh travel was great. My experience now, it definitely helped me. But it also exposed me to kind of like I wasn't to where I needed to be. Playing travel, you definitely play a lot of high talent. You play people who are really competitive, really, really good at the sport, and might be at your age, a lot more progressed than you are. So that exposed me and kind of showed me that I needed to work harder than what I was doing. The skills that I needed to get better at, and just what I needed to work on to be able to go to the next level and play college sports or even high school sports.
So like when did you know, all right, one, I'm good at this sport.
Mhm.
I can take it a little bit beyond the high school level. And two, what made you choose baseball over football and basketball? So let's start with the first question, I guess. When did you realize you were good?
So I thought I was really good, probably like 13, 14. Then I got to high school and was like, oh, I'm not good at all. So then I put in a lot of work, and I always knew it was something I wanted to do. Like I wanted to play a college sport. I just didn't know in what sport it was going to be. But baseball was probably the one where I probably was not the best in. It's kind of crazy that baseball was my probably one of my worst sports. Like I was really
Wow.
football I probably was worse at, but football was probably my best sport growing up. I was really good at football, but kind of didn't have the love for it. It almost came too easy. Like I love the challenge of baseball, and just that challenge of the difficulty of it. By the time I was 16, I pretty much knew like I'm playing college baseball. It was one of those things where I had a really good high school coach, Marcus McCormick, who really pushed me and really knew like I had the talent, but that I wasn't there yet. So he really kind of took me under his wing, and then basically just put in work. And then by the time I was 16, I was starting to get some college looks, and yeah,
So you
that time.
said, oh, sorry, cause y'all. So you said you didn't really want to pursue football because it was too easy.
Yeah.
Did you ever have you ever looked back and like, dang, I should have taken that route, or are you like content with your decision?
I still love football. I stopped playing football kind of early just because my
Mhm.
my high school number one was not very good. So it's like
Okay. So that helped you out.
yeah. And going into high school, like even though I was good, I was super small going into high school. I probably was 5'5", 140, not even 140, probably 120 pounds.
Oh wow.
So going to high school, it was like I'm not about to get hurt just to be on
Yeah.
a team. So it was one of those things where like even though like I was good at it and I got bigger, but like it was one of those things, it wasn't even worth it. So I kind of just focused on basketball and baseball. Um, yeah, it
So,
worked out. So
so how did you?
I think about it sometimes, but I mean, I love what I do.
Yeah, and it seems like you're enjoying it. I was going to ask, how did you end up in Kokomo, at IU Kokomo? Was that like a first choice, or like like a, of course, best offer type of thing? What made you choose IU Kokomo?
It was a little bit of both. It was definitely the best choice for me. They were giving me a lot of money. I was getting academic and athletic scholarships. I had some offers, not even offers, but some looks from D1. But they were more like walk-ons, trying to like they were pursuing me, but they were like, we'll give you an opportunity, but you're not our first choice. Um, Kokomo definitely was like, we want you here. We're going to give you this. You'll have an opportunity to play as soon as you get here. Um, so it made it pretty easy. Just being like, all right, they want me. I love the place, and it's worked out. I love the school. It's a small NAIA that's competitive, and yeah, I had the opportunity to play as a freshman. Played in I think 36 games out of the 50.
Oh wow.
So it was one of those ones where it was like I want to go play. Like I don't want to go have to go to a D1, and maybe it's a bigger school. Maybe it's like got the prestige of it's a D1. But I wanted to play. I wanted to compete, and have the opportunity to make my own legacy.
Well, that sounds like a wise choice, because I was going to say it seems like a lot of guys, especially not all, but a lot of them will choose, the D1 school for the platform that it has, or because it is D1, and maybe you know, give that playing time up for a little while, but you made the decision just to get in it and go play. So at some point, are you looking to transfer, or this is your senior year though, right?
My last year, no, yeah,
Yeah, so you
uh,
played all 4 years though.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So at any point did you consider transferring, or you were just like, I'm gonna ride it out here and then see where it goes?
So I had the opportunity to leave after my freshman year. I was going to go to a JUCO. My coach that recruited me actually ended up leaving after my freshman year. So it was one of those decisions where I had to be like, do I want to leave? Do I want to go pursue, the D1? I was going to go to a JUCO to try to play for a year and then transfer out from there. But it just didn't make sense. So I came into college like really advanced. I had a lot of credits, and my mom basically was like, "You're not going to JUCO. Like you already."
Right.
By the time I finished my freshman year, I was technically going to be a junior the next year. So they were like, "No, academically, it doesn't make sense for you. Like
Mhm.
you're not going to JUCO." And the coach that ended up getting the job was my assistant coach. So like I already had a relationship with him.
Mhm.
Uh, and it wasn't one where like a new coach was coming in. I didn't know if I was going to play. I
Right.
didn't know if I was going to get the opportunity. So I decided to stick it out.
So what's next beyond college? Do you have plans to enter the draft, or is it a thing to where I understand like basketball, football, volleyball, they go overseas. I don't know if that's a thing in baseball really, but what are plans after beyond senior year?
Yeah, so if I definitely would love to pursue professionally. Um, Not sure how that will really work out. You don't necessarily have to put your name in. Somebody just kind of has to see you and then draft you.
Uh,
Um, so, but I'm actually been applying to law school. So I'm getting
oh
ready
wow.
to try and apply to law schools. I just passed my LSAT, got the really
Congrats.
one. So basically, I've been applying, writing letters, all types of different things. So yeah, I want to go um, be a lawyer. Kind of want to stay in sports though as well. Would love to do like compliance or something in the NCAA, or be like an athletic director or sports agent, something like that.
That's all great. I see. What do you want to? Are you looking to go the traditional lawyer route, or you
No,
know?
I don't want to be in a court. I
Yeah,
don't think I could. I don't want to have to save somebody's life
yeah, yeah.
or something like that. But I mean, it could be an option if I ended up liking it. But
Agent and all that, and attorneys in terms of the sports world, that's a big thing too. Especially, I will tell you from just people I knew at Purdue didn't really manage their money and contracts and things like that. So the legalities of it, it's a definitely a good career field to be in. So I looked at your stats. Now I have to give a disclaimer. I'm still learning baseball as much as I've been covering sports. I'm still learning the sport. So I looked at the stats outside of like pitching and home runs. I was like, okay, what is this? But overall, I just read your bios and things like that. Talk about like the success you've had throughout your seasons and where you're looking to go and achieve this senior year.
so starting with my freshman year, I hit, I believe, I want to say like 250. Played in a bunch of games, but like didn't necessarily have the success that I wanted. Um, Next year improved, hit about I think 290, and then last year I hit what did I hit? I want to say like 333, which is pretty good. So each year for me has been like constant improvement. Every year I want to be better than the last. My successes, I still feel like I haven't had success yet.
Really?
Like I haven't reached my maximum potential. I still like feel like I have so much more I can do. Um, I've been on this team for this is my fourth year. And there's so much that we want to accomplish as a team. We want to win conference tournaments. We want to, go to nationals. We want to win all these accolades. Um, and for me, that's almost more than what I've done. I like my stats. I mean, sure, like they're cool. They're great. Like I can tell somebody, oh, I hit this. I had this many doubles. I had this many home runs, which I actually haven't even hit a home run in college. That's just not my game. But uh, I'm just trying to make sure that I push my teammates, push myself to be the best that I can be so that we can win a conference tournament. And my program here, it's only been, I think this is the seventh year it's been a program, which is also one of the reasons why I wanted to come here. It was new. I had a opportunity to be one of the first to do it. So we want to be the first team to win a conference tournament. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I have so much more to do. So I don't even know how to say what my successes are because I feel like I haven't succeeded yet.
So as because you're center field, if I believe in right hand pitcher. So being a pitcher, talk about the difficulties of that job in itself. Um, for those who may not understand, because I wind my arm up just a little bit, and I'm like, oh, my shoulder, like that, your arm, your shoulder, that's like a valuable piece. Of course, you have batting and hitting as well, but just the speeds at which you guys throw. Talk about like just the challenges of that position, or either the joys and the things that you like about it.
It's very difficult. Knowing that at any moment somebody can hit your pitch. Definitely trying to be competitive, just attack people. You always want to reduce the amount of walks that you have, which is basically like not throwing it in the strike zone and then just letting them get on base without really doing any work. It's very difficult because all eyes are on you when you're pitching. You control the entire game. Nothing can happen without you. So when you're pitching, it's definitely one of those things where it's like I have to do my job or this is just all going to like it's just it can go bad very quickly. So making sure that like you do things to give your team a chance to win is probably the most difficult part. But it's definitely a joy in it because like all those eyes are on you. So like
Mhm.
when you do good, everybody's cheering for you, everybody's hyped for you. But when you do bad, everybody sees it too. So
So like I know you guys practice and try to throw like the trick balls and make it curve and all that. How do y'all do that? I've always been like,
I
I
don't
know
have
it's
a
a lot of
ball here, but
practice. Is it the flick of the
it's
wrist?
literally
Like,
no, it's no flick of the wrist at all. It's literally just where you place your fingers on the ball. So this like the stitches basically wherever you put your hands on the ball. It can be pressures in your fingers, different things. But it's literally just how you hold the ball and then you throw it normally. But yeah, it's I mean you practice it, but it's literally like if you hold it a certain way, it'll spin a certain way. So you basically just have to find different grips to where it'll do that.
so did you always know you were gonna come to school to college to play pitcher? Did you play that in high school or was it a thing? Because I know sometimes you'll sign to go somewhere to play a certain position and then you get there and they're like, oh no, you're actually gonna do this. So this is something that you've always played.
Yeah, I've always been a pitcher. I honestly don't even pitch as much as I did in high school. I definitely play the field more just because I can hit pretty well. But I'm one of those pitchers like on our team, it's like if we need, yeah, I kind of pitch as needed. I'm not one of the go-to guys. I'm more in the field more than anything. But yeah, I'm more in the outfield. But I like pitching. It's fun to do.
You the outfield or the pitching more? Or it's
I
hard
like the
to choose.
outfield
Love
way.
like the outfield?
Yeah, I love it way more.
Why?
I don't know. It's just like the outfield. It's like I get to go run down a ball, and then like it's just making plays. It's more I feel like
Yeah.
it's more flashy. It's more I get to throw people out. I get to do
Yeah.
all these different things once the ball's hit. Like pitching is it's kind of out of your control once you throw the ball. But
Right.
once the ball's hit, it's like I can go make a play. It's almost like being a wide receiver in football or
Mm-hmm.
like getting a fast break in basketball. It's just like oh, I get to make a play.
Now I will say that this I just joined a kickball team, an adult kickball team, and I know it's not the same, but the same rules, very, very, very similar rules. So it's helping me to learn the sport even more. But I'm like, I play the outfield too, and I'm like, it's just exciting. The running, it's a challenge. It's a little bit of an adrenaline because you're trying to like beat that other person. Now my kicking, yeah, that's a different story. I'm just doing this for fun. But yeah, so I definitely get the love for the outfield. Now, I have to ask, um, we have Black baseball players, so that's not a question. That's been in history. But more of us tend to go towards the football, the basketball sports. Was there ever any challenges for you or any challenges when it comes to playing baseball from a culture standpoint? I know we talked about the money, and money is a big factor into why I know a lot of younger Black kids don't go that route because it is more expensive. But was there a culture shock at all, playing baseball versus the basketballs and the footballs and maybe even track?
Yeah, so a lot of the times I was pretty much the only Black kid on the team. That can be a challenge in itself, just because sometimes the culture shock that there's not much diversity, so they don't kind of see your point of views and like how you see certain things. Um, I've kind of been blessed. Probably since my sophomore year of high school, I've always had like one Black kid on the team. right now, I think it's me and one other kid. But my past 3 years, it's been like 4 or 5 of us. Just a couple just graduated. So now it's just 2 of us. But I don't know. I can't necessarily say that I've had difficulties. I've always been able to connect with different people, and kind of make connections and relationships with people where I don't really feel like they judge me differently. There's definitely been times on the field where like some people will say stuff to me, but I just say stuff back. So it's like
Like the
it's really
people in the audience.
yeah, nah, not even in the audience. I mean, I've had people call me like a black boy or like I've been called the N-word before, but like I don't know. I got pretty tough skin, so literally I'll just laugh at them and just keep destroying them. I'm pretty competitive, so like that's how you think you're gonna get under my skin. It's not really gonna work. So yeah.
Wow. Did that ever like, I know you say you have tough skin, but did it ever like messed you mentally, or like during the game you're like thinking about it like, dang, is that how they like look at me? Or is it a thing where you just like you could brush it off, or you never thought about going back to the comfortable sports because there are more people that look like you?
No, I always had teammates who like would stand up for me too. So I always felt comfortable enough to like if my teammates didn't feel that way about me, I didn't really care about what they thought. So as long as I was able to fall back on them and know that like, oh, it's all right, but like we got your back, then it was all right. Definitely it didn't make me mentally it made me mad. So it's like, all right, oh now
Yeah.
I really gotta beat you. Like there's no other like choices. So it just gave me a edge, and more fire to me to beat them in the sport that we were playing.
Now, I have to ask, would there be anything you would do differently, or maybe some advice to someone coming like behind you, in terms of your journey or how you did things? Anything you would change or advice that you can give?
One advice I would give, um, I would definitely say like don't take anything for granted. I think there's been times in my journey where I've been like, oh, it'll be all right, I'll do it tomorrow. There basically isn't no tomorrow. I know it's for me, it's been kind of a weird time for me just knowing that this is my last year. Um, my senior year was COVID, so it's kind of weird. I've never really had like a senior season, or felt like um that like, oh, it's gonna end. But now being at the like my last year, not knowing if I'm gonna go play professionally or not, definitely has been a different mentality of like each day's the last. Like I have to give this my all every single time. I step on the field, every time I'm in the weight room, every time I do anything. So basically, I like time. You have a clock. Just know that like uh, one day it is going to end, whether it's after professional, after college, after high school. So definitely just taking it one step at a time and giving it your all every time.
Did you, how was that in high school? I know like I talked to a lot of people who were in college when COVID hit, but did you guys get to play at all during your senior year, or how
I
did
had
you
senior year.
still get looks or land something even when you weren't playing?
So that's also another thing. I'm really blessed that I didn't wait for a D1 offer or wait for my offer because it could have been completely different had I not
Mm.
signed and committed at the start of my senior year. So I was already signed, knew I was going to IU Kokomo. So basically I didn't have to look
Okay.
to go. But yeah, no, we shut down in March, I believe, of 2020. So we didn't even have tryouts. Like it was
Oh,
in
wow. It was
I had
done deal.
absolutely no senior season my senior year. No senior night, no senior prom, no anything. So
How
it
was
was
that?
it was a very weird, tough time because you're just in the house and you're like, man, like I could be playing. Like everybody else got to do their senior night, got to walk across. We had just won a sectionals, made it to the regional championship. Like we were gearing up to do that again. It was one of those things where it's like, man, what if we got to play the season? What would have happened? Um, but I kind of had to look forward and be like, all right, how can I get better for college? it definitely was also a step back because once I got to college, we got shut down for the entire fall because of COVID. So it was a very weird transition just because I didn't get the normal introduction into college and also didn't get to finish off
Mm.
my high school career.
So did you go to prom like junior year or anything or?
I went junior and
Oh,
sophomore year.
oh,
So
that's
I
good.
still
So at
got
least
two.
you had, yeah, at least you had a prom. You made it.
I
Got
know,
the
but I wanted to
experience.
win prom king. I'm like, man, I
Yeah,
don't even get to be on court, nothing.
yeah. Dang, I know. I hate that. It's just like so many people were robbed in so many different ways and areas. But um, I know you had like very supportive family and parents and things like that. And I was going to talk about like how much family support really helps, especially when you're traveling and then you have other siblings who are traveling as well, and just helping you guys get to where you want to go and stay sane at the same time.
No, my family is everything to me. I couldn't have done any of this without them. My parents have always been in my corner, always been willing to help me. And maybe since I'm the baby, they might have given me a little more than than my siblings. That's what my sister and my older brother would say. But no, they've always pushed me, and I'm probably the most competitive out of all of them. So looking up to them, I've always wanted to be better than them. So I see my sister doing things, I see my brother doing things athletically in life, and I want to beat that. I want to be better than them. So they basically they push me to be who I want to be, and at the same time they support me. Anytime I can call them, if I'm feeling down, I don't even like talking about my feelings, but they'll lose. Somehow they know. They like every time they like I'll call them, my mom will be like, "What's wrong? Like you don't sound like you like you sound
Right.
like," or like I called her last week and she was like, "You sound like you sick." Like, how do you know this?
Yeah, moms know.
um, but they're always in my corner, financially, mentally, whatever it is. They're willing to help me. They give me advice. They tell me different ways how I can approach different situations. Um, they they're always in my corner, and then they're at my games. My dad's at every game, and then my siblings and my mom come to all the ones that they can make as well too. But yeah,
That's a
I can.
blessing. But speaking of games, before we go, I gotta ask, what songs turn you up? What artists or songs turn you up before a game? What are you listening to? What's on your playlist?
It depends on my mood. So if I got like a big game, I try not to get too amped up. I try to kind of like stay mellow and stay calm. Those days I kind of listen to R&B or like old school R&B. Uh, Number one song for that, it's still got a little bass to it. I'll do like Anthony Hamilton.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, you
oh
like Anthony? Okay, real old
yeah.
school.
I'm trying to think of the name of it though. I'll have to look it up. But I listen to R&B. I'll listen to like Aaron Ray, Destin Conrad. But if I'm trying to get hyped for a game, I'm probably listening to Lil Durk, Future, Young Thug. I'll listen to Rilo Rodriguez. Who else? 42 Doug, a couple different artists.
Okay, a little mixture. Yeah, I definitely that old school is gonna get you right. It's always gonna get you right
Every time it
every
gets to
time.
the right man, you jam to it, sing it.
Yeah, it's funny because when you're younger, you just kind of like blew it off, or you like, oh, I do not want to listen to this, and then now
I
fast
appreciate
forward
it a
in
lot
life,
more.
you over here blasting the same songs your mom and dad was listening to.
Yeah, it's hilarious. When I clean, I do it. I
Oh
always
yeah,
listen.
that's the old school is the best cleaning music
Yeah,
and gospel, little gospel, little praise and worship in there.
for sure.
Well, thank you so much for joining me this morning and talking about your journey through college baseball. Let people know where they can find you and they can follow you before we go.
So you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter, TahJ Borom 3, TahJBorom 3. Yeah.
All right, y'all. TahJ Borom, you can follow him. And thank you again for coming on and hope you have a wonderful and blessed week.
Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you.